You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
That'll be script reads me.
Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about trouble and trying to get responsible, one-sided news stories
plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Oh, we trade actors, motherfucker.
Hey, good day to you all. Welcome to the new. I'm your host, Randy Prum, with my miniature co-host, Buddy Bear. It's my grandson, Amir. Happy Motivated Monday. And hope you all had a great weekend. It was a lot going on this past week. Super busy week last week. So I had to take the week off last week because there was a lot going on here on the home front. And with school, I had a paper, an article I had to turn in. So I had to hunker down on focus on that and get things done amidst of everything else that was going on at the same time. But anyways, everything is well. Couldn't get him to sleep in time, so he's gonna hang out and be a little terrorist while we're on the show. He sees himself in the camera, so he's gonna probably just swoop down and go to sleep. But got a special announcement for you all. So we're going to start up a strategic partnership, if you will, with NTD News and NTD TV.com. So anytime that you're not watching TECN TV.com, we encourage you to go over to NTD.com. Can you say NTD? 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 NTD TV? TECN TV and NTD. Yes, so please, like I said, anytime that you're not watching TECNTV.com, you just switch on over to NTD.com, or you can just go back and forth between the two, and that way you have a plethora of news information, real news information from two verifiable sources. So that's that. So I'm excited for the future endeavors with that. And he is so sleepy. He has just been sitting here trying to fight his sleep the whole time. But anyways, in other news, the former congressman out of Florida, not for Congress, excuse me, former congressional candidate out of Florida's 14th congressional district by the name of Jeremy Brown. He was arrested over the weekend for his participation in the January 6th. What I'm gonna call it? The January 6th thingamabob. Because we really don't know what that was. It wasn't a riot. I can't classify it as a riot. Everybody wants to call it a riot, but I can't classify it as a riot. Can't call it a breach because doors and gates were open, so it wasn't, exactly a breach. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It was just one of those weird things that just happened. But anyways, he was charged with knowingly entering or remaining in a restricted building on the grounds. Will you cut it out? On the grounds without lawful authority, and engaging in disorderly and disruptive conduct in any restricted building or grounds. So he was arrested on those charges. I kind of thought to myself, I said, that's a very, very specific charge for something like that. I mean, after all, the Capitol building is the people's house. So how can you really charge somebody for breaking and entering, in a sense, a restricted area when you pay taxes and it's your place anyway? So that's kind of my train of thought behind it. And I understand, the laws and everything else surrounding, government property and this and the other. But then when we start getting into the discussion of government property, you kind of think about it like, I pay taxes and my tax dollars are going into this, so wouldn't it be my property too? I mean, I got it. You probably have conservatorship over it, but at the same time, if I choose to go visit the Capitol and say, I want to go sit in Speaker Pelosi's chair for a couple of hours while she's on the floor, I think, we should, cordially have the understanding of that is their right to do that, type of thing. Not to go in there and be destructive and all that. I'm not condoning that. What I'm saying is, as a everyday tax-paying citizen, if we had the gumption to want to do something like that, the people, the Congress, the government works for the people, and we pay taxes and everything. Why not partake in some of the luxuries that they partake in? That's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm off base here. Maybe some people message me and say, Randy, oh hell no. Or they could be like, I agree with you. So I don't know. But I just when I came across the story last night, I just kind of like, this is to me it's a kind of a reach. All right, settle down. And so, but he was also the reason why he was, I guess, picked out in the same token was because he was wearing his full military gear. Now, a little bit of background about him. He is a retired Army Green Beret guy. On his LinkedIn, talks about him being Special Forces, being part of Special Forces units and stuff like that. And he was at the J6 event in his military gear, wearing shears and stuff like that, so vest and everything, helmet, the whole shebang. So there's that. So he had some intentions of partaking in I guess just say something that was going to transpire there. He was equipped, let me put it like that. Now, whether or not he was intending on doing something reckless and dangerous remains to be seen, but that's probably perhaps why he is a former congressional candidate. So, having a conversation with the FBI and all that good stuff, he lays out, what his intent was. You chill, kid. He was laying out what his intent was and why he was, there at the Stop the Steal rally, because that's what it's called, Stop the Steal rally. And my thing is this: for everybody that attended, and I have close friends that I ain't gonna say close, but you know what I mean, like people that I talked to that attended the J6 rally, and they would tell you that there was a lot of different things going on at the same time. So it was kind of like some competing, events happening. And when you have people like this guy here, showing up in military uniform and everything else, decked out in gear, you know he wasn't there for the intent to, listen to Trump's speech and then just go home, or even chant where they were, I think it was at the ellipse, whatever they were. But you get my point, that where Trump was, they just, sit there and chant, stop the steal type of thing. No, there's some people that were there with direct intent to inflict some sort of, or provoke, I should say, not inflict, provoke something to happen, because the way they were dressed for the event. Now, if you're just an everyday Joe Schmo and you just showed up there and you had the intent to go to sleep, then grandkids, what I tell you, and they and you're dressed to go to these events and you're decked out in military gear. You're not going there just to say, yeah, stop the steal, and go home and drink a beer. No, you're there to start some stuff. So I'm not dismissing that crowd of folks. So if he was part of that and he got arrested because he decided he was talking to some FBI informants about, his scheme and maneuver, and they wrangled him in, oh well. So it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. But outside of that, jump to commercial break real quick. Get this kid settled. Keep it locked right here. We'll talk to y'all in a few minutes.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
about Thrive? It's a question asked 1,000 times a day. The Thrive 8-week experience has become the fastest growing health and wellness movement in North America. Over 10 million people have started the experience, and anywhere from 10 to 50,000 experience orders ship out every day. Why is this 6-letter word, THRIVE, turned into a phenomenon? Because it's simple. 1. Take 2 Thrive Premium Lifestyle Capsules on an empty stomach as soon as your feet hit the floor in the morning. 2. 20 minutes later, drink the Thrive Ultra Micronized Lifestyle Mix. 3. Apply patent-pending DFT Dermafusion technology to clean, dry skin. That's it. You're all done. And now you're set to thrive for the day. Because it's innovative. We all have nutritional gaps. No matter how well we eat or live, we simply can't get the body everything it needs from a nutritional standpoint. That's why Thrive was formulated. To supplement your diet and lifestyle. Once you complete your simple Thrive 3 steps in the morning, you've now introduced 3 different Thrive formulas that synergistically work as one. Feeding your body over 100 premium grade vitamins, minerals, plant extracts, digestive enzymes, probiotics, antioxidants, protein, fiber, and more. The premium grade nutrition helps fill in your body's nutritional gaps because it flat out works. Check out what just a few Thrivers are saying about their Thrive experience.
I couldn't believe how great that I was feeling from it.
I noticed a huge difference. A huge difference. I didn't even think I needed it.
I'm down 73 pounds. I'm at my high school graduation weight.
I was more patient with my kids, sleeping better, really loving life again. I felt like I was in my 20s, early 20s again.
Because I've tried other products in the past, but it was like remembering to take this in the morning, take this in the afternoon, take this before bed. So the simplicity of those 3 steps felt like I was living my best life.
It really just rocked my world. It was energized, but it was joy.
From then on, it's just changed my life, and every day has been better.
It's like somebody installed new lights. Everything was brighter, clearer.
It's laughing and smiling and being present and not being so exhausted.
Thrive is where it's at.
Now that you've heard about Thrive, the next question is, are you ready to start the experience? Learn more at Lavelle.com and Facebook.com/LavelleBrands. Find out how to get your Thrive Experience products for free by referring 2 friends to do the experience with you. Find out how to not only earn free products, but earn commissions as well for sharing the Thrive Experience with others as a Lavelle brand promoter. The decision to take the Thrive Experience or share the experience with others is all up to you. Just start your Thrive Experience today.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
Hey, welcome back. So, he's still awake. he's fading out. But anyways, so over the weekend, real quick, I was in my backyard. I actually stepped out onto my backyard, and this thing scared the living crap out of me, like right off the bat. If I had my pistol on me, it would have been gone. It would have been shot right there on the spot. But it was a cat, a stray cat. Was under my chair that I sit in when I sit in the backyard. And it was just purring, just meow, meow. And I was just like, oh, okay, And he didn't run, didn't run off or anything. Very friendly. So I was like, oh, you must have, somebody must have kicked you out. They must have kicked you out the house or something. So I went inside and got him a little bowl of milk and set it down. He waited patiently and set down a bowl of milk, and he looked up at me, or she, whatever it is, and just started drinking her milk, and then cleaned the bowl and walked away. And so I was like, oh, and she kind of just hung out in the backyard area. And got into the grass, into the shade, and stuff like that. And so I was going to Walmart, anyways, and picked up a couple of cans of cat food. I was like, okay, I'll feed her. I know, folks. Don't feed stray animals; they'll never go away, type of thing. I got it. I know that. But I love cats, and we can't have cats because April's allergic to cats. So that was just kind of like, I guess, a nostalgic moment for me that I had opportunity to play with a cat. So, without touching it, but you know what I mean. So, I did that, came back, and I was disappointed that the cat was gone. I was like, oh man, got these couple, wasted $1.32 on cans of cat food and cat not even here. So I went, was going out to my car, and lo and behold, she was sitting under the car. I could, visibly see that she was, there. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I went back in the house and got the can, and I sat in the front, and she kind of like ran off, and I was like, okay. But today, long story short, this morning, she was hanging out under the car again, purring and everything. So my grandson got a chance to see the cat up close. He tried to run up to it, but she kind of backed up like, get back, kid. So I guess she's already had some familiarity with kids. But anyways, that's what happened. So she's out there. I'm assuming she's probably done with the can of food that I gave. I sat down for. It was a trail of ants that already was alerted to it. So I'll go out there with the raid later on and take care of that. But that was what happened. And yeah, good stuff. But anyways, we have some knuckleheads. We have some knuckleheads that was out in Arizona. I'm gonna preface the story with this. I'm assuming that Senator Kirsten Sinema was back in her home district at one of her offices when this transpired. And it kind of just broke over the weekend. You only see one part of it, but I have two parts. So, but the idea that people, I'm all for peaceful assembly, right to petition, and air your grievances to your elected officials. I'm all for that. But when a person is trying to take a dump or go to the bathroom, I just say, you kind of have some common courtesy. Kind of be like, all right, I'll wait till you got the bathroom and catch you in the hallway type of thing. You're gonna stand there by the stall? Really? Like, come on. But hey, I guess this is a new wave of harassing your elected officials. Yeah.
Look.
Okay, I'll be back.
Sit down, we want to talk to you real quick. Can we talk to you real quick?
Hi, actually, I am heading out.
But right now is a real moment that our people need in order for us to be able to talk about what's really happening. We need a Build Back Better plan right now.
And we as workers, we need solutions, and the Build Back Better plan has the solutions that we need.
We knocked on doors for you to get you elected, and just how we got you elected, we can get you out of office if you don't support what you promised us.
We need 7 million citizenship for 7 million. We need the Build Back Better plan right now.
My name is Blanca. I was brought here to the United States when I was 3 years old. And in 2010, my grandparents both got deported because of SB 1070. And I'm here because I definitely believe that we need this pathway to citizenship. My grandfather passed away 2 weeks ago, and I was not able to go to Mexico and visit him because there is no pathway to citizenship. And if we have the opportunity to pass it right now, then we need to do it, because there's millions of undocumented people just like me who share the same story or even worse things that happen to them because of SB 1070 and because of anti-immigrant legislation. And this is the opportunity to pass it right now, and we need to hold you accountable to what you told us, what you promised us that you were going to pass when we knocked on doors for you. It's not right.
I'm a survivor of human trafficking, and it's because of the lack of worker protections that we don't have in the gig economy. I need you to stand by workers, lots of people who are like me, who became homeless and ended up in human trafficking right within 6 months of not having the ability to make money. Will you support the Build Back Better plan?
All right, folks. So, although I do sincerely and honestly sympathize with their situations of grandfather passing away, and she was not able to return back to Mexico to attend the funeral out of fear of not being able to have re-entry back into the United States, because she is not a legal citizen of the United States, but she's here illegally. And then the other person who was talking about being a survivor of human trafficking and being caught up in the system of working and sex trafficking and everything else. I honestly do sympathize with those situations, and I condemn, such actions like that. However, and you know me by now, folks, ladies and gentlemen, you should know me. There is always a however, if you know that you are an undocumented, illegal, whatever you want to call it, a person that does not legally reside in the United States, you're putting yourself out there two ways. You're in a federal building, presumably, if it's one of the district offices, still a federal building. You're in a federal building harassing, in a sense, a U.S. official. Now, about legalizing or creating a path to citizenship by supporting a bill. Now, a lot of people probably don't understand this or know this, but that is illegal by way of undue influence from a foreign agent, because you're not a U.S. citizen. So if Kirsten Sinema was to sit there and entertain that conversation and say, "Oh yes, I'm gonna pass this bill for you," and da 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 da, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of these congressional members are subjecting themselves to interacting and doing and pushing policy in favor of foreign agents of the within the United States, because they're not legal citizens. Just throwing it out there. And had she wanted to be a hole about it, she could have just called police, ICE, whoever, and would have had you detained, and you'd have been deported. That's number two. For the person that's talking about being a victim of human trafficking and everything else, presumably you are too not a U.S. citizen. So these groups, and they're sitting there smiling while they're recording and everything, because they're like, "Hey, yeah, we got it," type of thing. That's all cute. That's fun and games. That's what ground activism looks like, and that's cool if you are actually a U.S. citizen and you're not subjected to being deported or having your family's lives uprooted through deportation and everything else because you're deciding to harass U.S. congressional members. So, and then to top it off, as we're looking at the and I'm gonna talk about this in the next segment. We're looking at the Build Back Better plan. The infrastructure bill is falling apart, and so you have illegal, we'll say foreign agents, foreign actors pushing undue influence on U.S. congressional members to support legislation that would be in favor of foreign agents. That's a hell of a way to twist things, huh? I know. But that is what it is. That's exactly what it is. And these congressional members, they actually know this. That's why they don't sit there and they publicly talk to foreign agents, to the Haitians that are coming across the border, to the Hispanic groups that are coming across the border. You're not catching too many congressional members having that public conversation with these groups. There may be some private, behind closed doors type of things, like, okay, why are y'all guys here? What do you need from us to help you? And that may be transpiring, but you're not gonna see too much of that in the open public, because once again, these folks are not registered registered agents of an entity, but they're pushing policy within the United States. Yes, folks, I know it's a hell of a way to look at stuff, but this is why I'm bringing it to you, because these are things that we're discussing right now, in federal circles, international circles, and everything else, because they're going to start cracking down on that, and so it is what it is. But a few hours later.
¡Cinema! ¡Estamos en la lucha! Build back better, back the bill! 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 Build back
Now, this same group was at her. That's why I said I'm assuming. I can only assume that they're at Senator Cinema's home office. I can only assume that, because they're now at her place of residence. Excuse me. At her place of residence, shouting and screaming, and you see the gated security guards, trying to get them to go away and disperse and everything else. Once again, you're a foreign agent harassing U.S. government officials to sway public policy. If those security guards would have happened to call ICE, would have happened to had a arresting authority, and y'all would have got arrested and deported because you're not too far away from the border, Arizona. You brought that on yourself, and you can't expect somebody in the United States to those with a sense of I guess you say loyalty to the legal system to really have any sympathy. It is what it is, and so like I said, people have been asking me my position on pathway to citizenship and stuff like that, and I say no. And here's why. What I am in favor of doing, and something that I will probably propose once elected, not if, once elected, I would propose something similar to a path to citizenship. It would be a window of opportunity for those who are already residing in the United States, and they would have to show proof of some sort that they have been here for X amount of years, and they will have then be afforded the opportunity to start the process of becoming a naturalized citizen. Once that window expires, and you are therefore caught in the United States, and you have just refused to comply with that window, and it would be a generous window, and you refuse to comply with that window at that time and whatever else, it is what it is. Whether you're deported, arrested, detained, fined, however that may look, all the above, however that may look, it is what it is, because you already entered the country illegally in the first place. That is a felony offense. Not a misdemeanor, not a slap on the wrist. It is a felony offense. So you already have one strike, per se, against you coming in, and this will be the opportunity to clean that up and say, okay, hey, here to, make amends and do things the right way. Failure to do so, it is what it is. That's my position, my take on it. I stand by that. People, I talk to many Hispanics from the different backgrounds. That's why I say Hispanics, Latinos from different backgrounds, and I had that conversation. And some of them did not like that answer, but they also understood. So it is what it is. But for them to, like I said, go in the thick of the night and do the same thing that they did earlier in the day, they're subjecting themselves to that kind of risk. And so it is what it is. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So I can't say that I will feel bad or have any remorse or something like that for them if they were to get captured and detained and whatnot. So, anyways, folks, jump to a commercial break. Keep it locked right here. We'll be right back.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com. You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www. You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
Had some double clicking issues going on there just now. But so the amazing thing about producing and running your own show is you kind of get these technical glitches here and there that you're trying to do multiple things at once. But anyways, yeah, fun times. I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but this morning I've been trying to get on Facebook all morning, and now I don't know if I'm suspended because I did post some stuff yesterday, so it probably got called up to me, and I'm suspended right now, and I can't see anything, or they just totally deplatformed me altogether. But if you're having those issues, please drop in the comments. Let me know throughout the day that you had issues with getting on Facebook or whatever, just so I know what's going on, because I haven't heard or seen any like power outages at Facebook or anything like that. But so that's what's going on with that. But anyways, the infrastructure bill is now going to what's called a infrastructure disaster, and the Democrats are imploding on this infrastructure Ponzi scheme. That's what I'm calling it. But Senator Sinema and Senator Manchin, they're both still holding the line on not supporting the $3.5 trillion package, while at the same token, Speaker Pelosi is delaying putting up the reconciliation bill, which is 1.3 trillion. So this is called creating some angst because the votes are not there to support both together. And so if one fails, the other one is going to fail, type of thing. And if even when one passes, they need the other one to pass to, kind of mesh together what they need to try to do, which will in turn create a 5.6, I think it was the number, $5 trillion plus package. The hell no. You bumped your head. And so the deadline is starting to creep up on Congress to get it done. And Joe Biden with an asterisk president type is losing patience, as he would say, with some of the Democrats that are holding the line against this radical socialist package deal that they're cloaking as an infrastructure bill when it's actually a human socialist program for all sorts of just craziness. And that's why you have these kids. I say the kids because they mentioned DACA and being trafficked and everything else. So some of they're kids, like as in youngsters, more than teenagers, but adults nonetheless, but still kids. Anyways, that's why they're pushing that they need to support the Build Back Better plan, because that's what this is all about, building back better. Now, there's some other issues with that. To push this package deal, a lot of people have not read some of the text of the bill. It is incremental. So just because they pass it, boom. And I talked about this a while back, a couple weeks ago. They pass it, boom. There's things that's going to take place in 22, 24, 26. So it's incremental. And the money is allegedly going to come from increased taxes on the rich. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is roughly, 15 billionaires in the United States? Something around that number. It could be a little bit more, but you get my point. There's not that many. It's 1%. They always talk about the top taxing the top 1%. That 1% paying their fair share, whatever they're doing, to support the 99%. We'll say 98. It's not sustainable. It's just not. The math isn't there, folks. And so the reality is that while they're pseudo taxing the rich, middle class families and some lower class families lower income families will be brunting those expenses, those taxes, through higher costs that's going to be pushed because of you tax the rich folks. That's the producers. They'll say, okay, I'm just gonna make my money by raising prices on the goods and services. Too easy. And they're gonna end up becoming more richer. See how that works? So it's just total disaster. But that's where things are with the infrastructure, the Ponzi scheme right now. And while I got a few minutes left, I do want to get into the National Defense Authorization Act of 22. The chaos this week behind the 125 plus Republicans that voted yay for the NDAA this week was behind the Section 529 clause that would authorize military judges to confiscate, known as red flag laws, to confiscate firearms from service members for whatever reason they deem necessary, and the service member does not even have to be present or have knowledge that this injunctive order was taken out against them. Folks, this is on its face flat out against the Second Amendment, but they was trying to slide it in there. And of course, like any other good politician out there, no one read this stuff, and it was buried in the bill. Democrats snuck it in, and now the Republicans are coming out like, oh wait, no, We know it's coming out. It's going to come out. That was an error. It was a clerical error. It was put in there by mistake. Look, folks, what I've been dealing with politics for 25 years, and I cannot honestly recall a time where something was clerically inputted by mistake into a bill. You voted on it and you passed it, and it was removed from the bill later on. I cannot remember a time that conversation even transpiring anywhere. So, and I would challenge my future colleagues in Congress to come up with a better bull BS excuse next time around, okay? Because where we stand with that right now is the bill. You voted yay on it, so it passes. Yes, it has to go back to committee, get reconciled and all that. Got it. If it does not come out, because the Republicans do not have the power to really force that measure, because they're not committee chairs. It's the Democrats that's running the committees. And it transitions over to the Senate. They say it will have to go back up to the final reconciled vote. Bill will have to go back for a vote. I'm not positive about that. Not too sure about that. I think that's some more smoke. But once it's reconciled, it goes over to the Senate. The Senate peels through it, and they vote on it. If that 529, that section 529 is still part of that bill, and it passes the Senate, it goes to Biden's desk. That's a done deal, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what could be remedied is in 22, where the if the Republicans take back the House, they can do a reconciliation or a separate appropriation bill. Not appropriation, excuse me. Reconciliation bill to repeal the 529 clause in the 23 National Defense Authorization Act, or they altogether just decide to vote nay on the next Authorization Act until that section is repealed. That would be the most smartest remedy. But outside of that, these Republicans, once again, they was trying to save face by writing a letter. It was 9 pages. I only printed the first page because it was the only thing I read to you. The rest of them were just signatures. Congress of the United States, House of Representatives, Washington, D.C., blah, blah, blah. September 29, 2021. The Honorable Adam Smith, Chairman. The Honorable Mike Rogers, Ranking Member. The Honorable Jack Reed, Chairman. And the Honorable Jim Imhoff, Ranking Member. So the top two were House and the bottom two were the Senate. Dear Chairman Smith, Ranking Member Rogers, Chairman Reed, and Ranking Member Imhoff. As you begin the conference committee process to reconcile the House and Senate versions of the National Defense Authorization Act for the fiscal year 22, we write to strongly urge you to strike Section 529 of the House version, H.R. 4350. We are greatly concerned that if enacted, Section 529 will violate the Second Amendment rights of our nation's brave service members by allowing military judges and magistrates to issue military court gun confiscation orders. Even more concerning, under this provision, such an order could be issued by a military court on an ex parte basis, meaning the order could be issued without the service member even being present in the court to defend themselves. We believe this is a serious breach of due process and that demands your full attention. Every single day, brave American service members serve in harm's way to defend our nation, our way of life, and our very constitutional right that 529 would erode. This dangerous provision must be excluded from the final package. Again, we ask for your support to strike Section 529 of H.R. 4350 from the final conference report of the FY22 NDAA. Thank you for your support, your attention to this important matter, and please don't hesitate to contact us with any questions. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do a shameless plug here real quick and say that Congressman Don Young, the one I am challenging out of Alaska, did not sign this letter. It was, like I said, it was 9 pages long of 125 plus to 135 Republicans signing this letter, and Don Young was not one of the members. Now, I can go out on a limb and say because he voted yay and did not sign this letter, that he's probably complicit in having this bill, that section part of the bill. That's the only thing I can extrapolate from that. So you, as the American voters, take from what you will, and I encourage you all to look at the National Defense Authorization Act itself, and look at this letter to see if your representative, HR 4350, and see if your representative voted for it and whether or not they signed this letter. Although it's a symbolic gesture, because like I said, you know, the Democrats have control of the House right now, so and the Senate, so they're not really obligated to listen to this. But if they know what's good for them, they might want to take heed and strike 529 from the bill, because yeah, it's just gonna be chaos from there. But anyways, that's what's going on with that. So let's see what else. I think that's it. Yeah, we're down to the bottom of the hour anyway, folks. Thank you all for tuning in today. And like I said at the top of the show, if you're just now catching up and seeing what's going on, please, when you're not watching TECN TV.com, go to NTD TV.com or NTD.TV, either one, and check out their programming as well. And you can follow me on Twitter, MeWeGap, Instagram, Getter, and LinkedIn at rperm, at sign RPURHM. It's right above my head right there. At rperm. And if you would like to be a guest on the show, you can do so by emailing me at rperm@gmail.com. Stop sending me spam, please. And it takes me a second to hit unsubscribe and block and stuff like that. But just don't do that. Just don't. But anyways, if you want to be a guest on the show or be a sponsor, promoting, advertising, and what have you, you can do so through those channels. If you be so gracious enough to go to my website, rpermforus.com, above my head right there, and support my campaign for the United States Congress against Congressman Don Young out of Alaska, and donate $1, $2, $3, anything helps. Donate to my campaign. Sign up to be a volunteer if you're in the state of Alaska, even if you're across the United States and you want to volunteer just to hold up a sign saying support Randy Brown. That'd be super awesome. And so with that, you can do that there. Cashapp and PayPal to support either my program or my campaign. You can do so at $, capital RPURHAM. For US, same thing with PayPal, at sign rperm for US. And we appreciate that as well. We will see you all, God willing, on Friday. God bless you all. Have a tremendous week. And be safe. Ciao, ciao.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.